This is Greg Orloff with IoT World, and I am here at Cognite's Impact 2024. And I am joined by my esteemed friends here. This is Paula Doyle. Paula is the Chief Digital Officer of Aker BP. And we also have Knut Vidvi, who's the Head of Product Management at Cognite. So welcome both of you. Thanks for joining me for a couple of minutes out of a very busy schedule down here.
Thank you.
So maybe if you could take a little bit of time and give us kind of an overview of the relationship, of like how you felt like you needed to pull in a partner, what you were trying to accomplish in terms of your whole digitalization journey, if you could, Paula.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Aker BP struggled with something that pretty much every industrial company struggles with, and this is like access to data. Because typically what you have in your digital ecosystem is a number of suppliers who like to control the whole stack. So from the data sources or the databases in through kind of the data layer and up through the application. Vertical stack after vertical stack after vertical stack. And when you want to do something cross-application or cross-domain, in our case, that's where the most value is, you struggle because you can't get the data linked or accessed. So this was really kind of one of the main first reasons why Aker BP started working with Cognite, and Aker BP was actually Cognite's first customer. So we've been working together for a very long time at solving this problem, actually, which is an extremely difficult but very valuable problem to solve.
So maybe for the folks that don't know, just give me 30 seconds on who is Aker BP? What do you folks do? Yeah. A little bit about the whole business model.
So Aker BP is a Norwegian upstream oil and gas company. So we're Norway's second largest oil and gas company and Europe's largest independent. We produce around 450,000 barrels a day. Okay. All of our assets are offshore. And we, as well as the 5 existing assets that we have today, we're also building out a large capital project portfolio. And of that, it's like a $20 billion investment, and the jewel of the crown of that is our Fields of the Future, which is called Yggdrasil, which is coming on stream in 2027.
Oh, that sounds exciting. So I want to talk about that one a little bit too. Maybe at a higher level, and feel free to jump in. How do you, when you're approaching a project like this, I mean, you've got multiple data streams, multiple stacks. How do you prioritize what is the optimum data? What am I trying to optimize, and what should I not be paying attention to?
Yeah. No, you want to jump in here, or?
Yeah, for sure.
You get started.
I think the most important thing for us is for sure to understand what problem we're trying to solve. So it's not about doing data for data's sake or technology for technology's sake, even though that would be really fun. Yeah. What we need to do is we need to improve business outcomes, and typically for us, we're looking at how we can optimize processes, how we can make things more effective, how we can make better decisions faster. Typically, that is where we deliver value to the business. So there, we really do start with what are the problems we're trying to solve, and then what does it take on the data side to get those problems solved, and that's how we work it out from there.
So peel that for me, Knut. So how do you ensure that you're getting access to the right data at any given point in real time? Because that's part of the magic of this, right?
It is part of the magic. As Paula says, it is typically going first understanding what type of problem you want to solve, what type of business value you want to get out of it. But we also see a lot of patterns repeating. We do see that for connecting the OT data that's coming out of the physical systems, so all the sensor value and time series alarms events are in one system, and then you find all of the IT data with the document and the engineering data, documents, 3D models, and then maintenance data and everything coming out of other systems. And the magic is when you start putting these things together. So the patterns that keep repeating is that they want to connect the sensor data coming from machines with the data that's in the IT systems. There's typically engineering documents, diagrams, and then maintenance history. And if you do have them, 3D models, and then connecting them all together. And those are typically the basis for the type of problems that you have in the asset-heavy industries. But the use cases on top of them will drive the data need. What you need to have is to have one place where you can pull it all together.
So maybe talk to me a little bit about, we focus on data, we focus on technology, but maybe a little bit about the human interaction piece of this as well. I mean, is there a role for human expertise, and how does that factor into building this type of real-time system?
It always starts with people. And even in the vision for Aker BP to have fully autonomous processes, there's still people working there. Right there, and there's always human ingenuity and creativity, and in our vision as mission as well, it's to liberate that creativity and the judgment of people, so they don't have to spend time digging for data or doing repeated tasks that a computer can do for you, but you make it in such a way that the time that you spend is time where you need human judgment, where you need creativity and skepticism and collaboration.
Oh, absolutely. I think what we need to appreciate and understand is that in industry today there is a lot of work that is done that is boring, that is tedious.
How can you say that? Come on.
It actually makes me a little bit sad, because when you look at all of the effort spent on this boring, just real tedious work, and then if you look at all of the opportunities we have to optimize and all of the work that we need to do to get to like a state where we are really operating efficiently, it kind of doesn't add up. So we have to offload as much of this effort as possible to machines, and not just because it's boring and tedious, but also because in a lot of these tasks, machines are better than humans. And that's
true.
okay.
They don't get bored, they don't get tired. They don't...
No, and they're more, and they're typically more precise as well.
That too. So tell me a little bit about this project, because you've hinted to it, and I'm going to butcher the name, but the Ivar Field project. I know that's wrong. How do you pronounce it again?
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil project.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really difficult name. In Norwegian, it means tree of life.
Tree of life.
Yeah.
I'm going to use tree of life. That's better. So talk to me about the tree of life. What are you trying to accomplish with this? This is a digital twin, if we're not mistaken, of a facility, or leveraging digital twins in an actual build, right?
Yeah, correct. So Yggdrasil is it's a huge offshore field on the Norwegian continental shelf, which is where we operate. It's highly complex. It's multi-facility, multi-reservoir, high pressures, low pressures, high temperatures, low. It's really got everything in terms of complexity. And the goal is Yggdrasil will come on stream in 2027.
Okay.
So in 2 years' time, and then by 2029 it will be unmanned. So
Unmanned.
yeah.
Unmanned.
So we do have unmanned platforms today, but this is typically very simple things. It's basically, wellhead on a stick.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here is a full processing facility that will be unmanned. So the control room will be onshore. We'll have 2 people operating in the control room, and we will not have people permanently based on the installation.
So just to give people perspective, how large is this? This is a full-blown oil rig out in the sea, right?
Yeah, there's 3 top sides. It's a full-blown processing facility.
It's a small
It's
city,
a big deal.
basically.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
No, fantastic. Well, I mean, what have you learned from this project? Have you gleaned any takeaways, or are there any toe stubbings you can share with folks that say, boy, we're so glad we did this now when this was happening versus, down the road?
Oh God, we have stubbed our toes so many times. I think Aker BP could almost write a book around like lessons learned in digital. But I think some of the things that we have learned, it's around really taking this whole data foundation seriously. So to really be crystal clear on how you are going to deliver quality data to the humans and machines around the organization. I think this is something that we have really failed on in the past, actually. So we've put really good technology in place, but we haven't fixed things like processes and ownership.
Yeah.
And also the other thing that we haven't done, which we have done now recently as kind of through the learnings, was really lifting data to be a first-class IT citizen. So typically in the IT teams, you're really good at application management, so like knowing if applications are up or down, and infrastructure. So knowing if that is up and down, if there's a problem, people go into, they can flag it, it's dealt with in a process. We haven't been that good with data. So what we have done now is kind of lifted the service level on data to our organization, so that the people who are relying on it, and more and more people and machines will be relying on data to make decisions. They need to know that it's trustworthy. They need to know that it's fresh, that the pipelines are broken. So I think this has been a real lesson for us. Like, what does it actually take to become data-driven?
But a journey you've been on is that you started by digitizing all of your brownfields, your existing, and that was sort of doing it in hindsight. And then you've taken that learning over many, many years. And now when you're doing a new capital project, you can start from the construction and concept phase.
Sure.
And then before it goes into operations, you take all the learnings that all of the scars and all of the learnings from the brownfield implementations. That's also a path forward when you're wondering about how to go about this. Is start with your existing things. It will not be as perfect as if you started from scratch, but there's so much value and potential in doing this on existing plants, existing factories.
Yeah, you don't need to wait for a greenfield to leverage the technology. But I think what's been really interesting for us with Yggdrasil, it's been, as we've been building the physical plant, we've been building the digital twin
in parallel.
Yeah,
right? Wow.
yeah. So that's been very, very cool. So that's the first time we have done that, and we're using it today. So it's been a really valuable piece of work.
So you take the crystal ball out. I mean, is digital twin technology and data conceptualization, or what do you see for the oil and gas sector moving forward? How is this a game changer? I mean, talk to me a little bit about what you think that future state is going to be for extraction globally, or just even with your folks.
I know I used the word digital twin, but I'm actually like a little bit allergic to it as well, because I feel like if you say the word digital twin in an oil and gas room, you'll spark a multi-hour discussion around what is and isn't a digital twin, and
yes,
do we really have time for that? Would be my question. But I think for us, what it really is about, it's about this digital representation of the asset, and that's captured in data. And then there's many ways to use that data, with people or without people, with AI or without AI. But ultimately, what you want to do is be able to use data to drive better, quicker decisions. That's the name of the game. In my opinion, the companies who are able to use their data, and also quite importantly use technologies like AI, particularly Gen AI, and actually it'll be more general AI now as the funding comes in and you see that technology develop at speed. The organizations that are able to use their data and keep up with the speed of the technology development so that they can execute and incorporate it into their business, they're the ones that will win. And I really hope that this kind of the pace of technology development can somehow brush off on us in the oil and gas industry, where we tend to be a little bit more relaxed with the timelines, a little bit less decisive, I think, than we should be as well. So I'm hoping this can maybe spark a little fire.
Fair enough. Well, it sounds like you're partnering with a great organization with Cognite, and you got the platform to make that happen. So Knut, tell me, is there, we've been talking about an oil and gas project, a fascinating one at that, but is there more of an agnostic reference for people? I mean, other projects, other industries that may have a need for something like Cognite?
No, our experience and our customers talking to us is that this is the data problem is universal across industries, from manufacturing to the life sciences, or to oil and gas, or other parts of the energy. What goes across all of them is, if you want to call it digital twin, or if you want to call it a data foundation, is that it's very hard to run a modern company in a competitive way without having a data foundation. And data is the fuel of AI that Paula just talked about, and it's going to play a bigger and bigger role in the future operations. And the new employees coming in, the AI agents, they're going to be fueled by data and the insights in your company, which is also why we've even written a book about AI agents and how to guide people into thinking about how to use AI and agents in the industry. And it's coming out today, and you can come to our website and read all about it and order your copy of the book.
Outstanding. Well, check them out at cognite.com.
Cognite.com.